Have you ever paused to truly consider the words you speak, not just the ones that escape your lips, but the silent whispers in your mind that shape your thoughts? These words, often spoken without a second thought, hold a power greater than most of us realize. They have the ability to inspire greatness, to shift perspectives, and even to alter the course of your life. On the flip side, they can trap you, limit you, and keep you stuck in a cycle of frustration and self-doubt. Your words, whether spoken aloud or kept in your heart, are far more than just expressions of what you feel. They are the architects of your reality. Think about this. How often do you catch yourself saying, "I'm not good at this," or "I'll never get there"? These statements might seem harmless, like passing clouds in the sky of your mind. But each one is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious. And just like a seed grows into a plant, those words grow into patterns, habits, and outcomes that shape your life. The truth is, your words are not just reflections of what you see, they are the tools with which you build the world around you. This isn't just motivational theory. It's a principle deeply rooted in both ancient wisdom and modern psychology. For centuries, spiritual and philosophical teachings have emphasized the creative power of the spoken word. In more recent years, science has confirmed that our thoughts and words directly influence the way we perceive and interact with the world. Positive words and affirmations can rewire our brain, creating new neural pathways that foster confidence, resilience, and success. Negative words, on the other hand, reinforce the very limitations we wish to escape. The magic of words lies in their dual nature. On one hand, they are simple tools for communication, ways to share ideas and express feelings. But on the other, they are energy in motion, vibrating with intention and possibility. Every word you speak or think carries a frequency that ripples outward, shaping not only your inner state, but also the reality you experience. When you speak with doubt or fear, you project those energies into the world, and life mirrors them back to you. But when you speak with confidence, purpose, and belief, you open doors to opportunities and outcomes aligned with your desires. Let me ask you, if your words were a paintbrush, what kind of picture would they be creating for your life right now? Are they painting a masterpiece of hope, abundance, and success? Or are they sketching shadows of doubt and limitation? The good news is you have the power to change the picture at any moment. The canvas of your life is yours to design, and your words are the strokes that bring it to life. One of the most profound truths you'll ever discover is that the way you speak to yourself and about yourself determines the trajectory of your life. Words like "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "it's impossible" become chains that bind you to a limited reality. But when you replace them with statements like, "I am capable, I am deserving, and I am finding a way," you break free from those chains and step into a world of infinite possibilities. Here's the key. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. And more importantly, how you feel when you say it. Words spoken with belief and conviction have a power that words spoken half-heartedly simply don't. When you declare "I am successful" and pair it with the feeling of success, your subconscious mind begins to align your thoughts, actions, and decisions with that truth. This idea might sound abstract, but it's deeply practical. Imagine a person who constantly tells themselves, "I'll never be good at this." Over time, their actions and attitudes will unconsciously align with that belief, reinforcing it and making it their reality. Now imagine someone else saying, "I'm getting better every day." Even if it's not immediately true, that statement sets a different tone. It creates an expectation of growth and opens the door for progress. As we continue, I'll show you how to harness the power of your words, how to align them with your emotions, and how to use them to reprogram your mind for success. This isn't about quick fixes or superficial positivity, it's about tapping into a principle that can transform every aspect of your life. The question is, are you ready to start speaking your success into existence? Words are not merely tools of communication, they are carriers of energy, vibrational forces that ripple through your reality. Think about it, every word you utter creates a frequency, a signal that resonates far beyond the surface. It's as though each sentence you speak is an arrow aimed at a target, your future. The question is, are you aiming those arrows intentionally or carelessly? Imagine a situation where someone constantly says, "I'm so unlucky," or "nothing ever works out for me." These statements may seem harmless on the surface, but they're like seeds planted in fertile soil. Over time, they grow into a harvest of frustration, setbacks, and missed opportunities. Why? Because words are not passive, they actively shape the energy around you and within you. This principle isn't new, it's a truth that has been echoed across philosophies, religions, and teachings for centuries. Ancient wisdom often equates words with creation itself. In many traditions, the spoken word is seen as the spark that brings unseen realities into being. Modern psychology backs this up, emphasizing how self talk, what you say to yourself, directly influences your beliefs, emotions, and actions. If words are the foundation of creation, what are you building with yours? The energy behind words is magnified by emotion. When you speak, your feelings act as the fuel behind the words, giving them their power. A word spoken with conviction has far greater impact than one mumbled without belief. When you declare, "I am capable," with a deep sense of certainty, it resonates differently than saying it half-heartedly. Your subconscious mind, the part of you responsible for aligning your reality, responds to the energy behind your words, not just the words themselves. To harness this energy, you must become intentional about the words you use. Start by paying attention to your habitual phrases. Are they affirming your potential or reinforcing your fears? Words like "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "it's impossible" are like weights that drag you down. Replacing them with empowering alternatives can transform the way you perceive and experience the world. But it's not just about what you say aloud, it's about the silent words you repeat in your mind. These inner dialogues are the unseen architects of your reality. Every thought you entertain has the potential to either build or destroy. If you constantly think, "I'm stuck," your subconscious will work tirelessly to maintain that state. But if you replace it with, "I'm making progress," your mind will begin to align your actions with that belief. Remember, your words are like commands to the universe. They set the tone for what you expect and attract into your life. Speak defeat, and you invite obstacles. Speak victory, and you pave the way for breakthroughs. This is the power of intentional language. It's not just about describing your current reality, but shaping the one you want to create. Every word you speak is like a seed sown in the garden of your mind. Just as a gardener chooses seeds carefully, knowing they will determine the harvest, you must be mindful of the words you plant in your consciousness. These seeds, your words, do not remain idle. They grow, take root, and eventually bear fruit in the form of your reality. Consider this analogy. If a farmer plants seeds of weeds, they cannot expect a field of roses. The same principle applies to your words. Negative statements, even those spoken casually, act as the weeds in your mental garden. They choke out the potential for growth and beauty, leaving behind a landscape of limitation. But when you plant seeds of positivity, hope, and confidence, you cultivate an environment where success and abundance can flourish. The process begins with awareness. What kind of seeds are you planting daily? Most people go through life unaware of how their words shape their outcomes. Phrases like "I'm always tired," "I'll never succeed," or "I'm just not lucky" seem insignificant in the moment, but they set the stage for your subconscious to create conditions that align with those declarations. Over time, these repeated statements become self-fulfilling prophecies. What makes this process even more fascinating is how the subconscious mind works. It doesn't question or judge the seeds you plant, it simply nurtures whatever you give it. Whether the seed is positive or negative, your mind works tirelessly to bring it to life. This is why speaking words of abundance, even when faced with lack, is so powerful. You are choosing to plant seeds of the future you desire, rather than the reality you want to escape. To plant the right seed, start with intentional affirmations. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning how to." Instead of saying, "I'm not good at this," try "I'm getting better every day." These small changes may seem trivial, but they have a cumulative effect. Just as a single seed can grow into a towering tree, a single phrase repeated consistently can transform your mindset and, eventually, your reality. Another key to planting the right seeds is visualization. When you speak affirmations, pair them with a mental image of what you want to achieve. For example, when you say, I am successful, imagine yourself in a scenario that represents success to you. Picture the details, the people around you, the feelings of accomplishment, the environment. This mental imagery acts as sunlight and water for your seeds, accelerating their growth. Finally, remember that patience is essential. Just as a seed doesn't sprout overnight, the words you plant won't immediately transform your reality. Consistency and care are crucial. Speak positively, nurture your mental garden daily, and trust that the seeds you've sown will grow in due time. The words you choose to plant today determine the life you'll harvest tomorrow. Be deliberate, be patient, and most importantly, plant seeds of greatness. One of the most destructive habits we unconsciously adopt is negative self-talk. It's that inner dialogue that tells you you're not good enough, you'll never succeed, or why even try. These thoughts may feel insignificant in the moment, but over time they become a mental script that shapes your life. Breaking this cycle is not just a choice, it's a necessity if you want to move forward. The problem with negative self-talk is its subtlety. It creeps into your mind disguised as realism or common sense. When you hear yourself say, I can't do this, it might feel like you're just acknowledging a fact. But the truth is, you're reinforcing a limitation. Every time you repeat such thoughts, you're sending a message to your subconscious mind, a message that becomes embedded in your belief system. Here's the key to understanding why this is so impactful. Your subconscious mind doesn't filter or question the thoughts you feed it. It takes your words as commands and works to make them your reality. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm not good at this, your subconscious will ensure you act in ways that confirm that belief. It's not just a mental habit, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Breaking free from this cycle begins with awareness. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. What phrases do you catch yourself repeating? Are they filled with doubt, fear, or self-criticism? The first step to change is recognizing the problem. You cannot fix what you're unaware of. Once you identify these negative patterns, it's time to replace them. This isn't about denying reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to speak words that empower you instead of limiting you. For instance, when you catch yourself thinking, I'll never succeed, reframe it to, I'm learning and growing every day. When you hear, I can't do this, replace it with, I'm finding a way to make it happen. At first, this may feel awkward or unnatural. That's because you're rewiring years, maybe decades of ingrained thought patterns. But like any new habit, it becomes easier with practice. The key is consistency. You must replace negative self-talk with empowering affirmations every single time you catch it. Over time, these new thoughts will take root and become your default mindset. Visualization can be a powerful tool in this process. When you replace a negative thought, don't just say the words, imagine the reality they represent. If you tell yourself, I am capable, visualize a specific situation where you feel confident and successful. Pairing words with imagery reinforces the message in your subconscious and accelerates the change. Breaking the cycle of negative self-talk is not a one-time effort. It's a daily commitment to self-awareness and intentional speech. Remember, the words you use are not just descriptions of your reality, they are commands shaping your future. Speak carefully and choose words that build you up, not tear you down. Affirmations are more than just positive statements. They are declarations of your potential, tools for reprogramming your subconscious, and powerful agents of change. When used consistently and intentionally, affirmations can help you reshape your thoughts, align your actions, and transform your reality. The concept behind affirmations is simple. Your mind believes what you tell it. This isn't just a motivational idea, it's backed by science. The brain has a remarkable ability to rewire itself, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. When you repeat positive affirmations, you create new neural pathways that support those beliefs. Over time, these pathways become stronger, and your brain starts to default to empowering thoughts. However, affirmations only work when they're done right. One of the most common mistakes people make is using affirmations that feel hollow or unrealistic. If you're drowning in debt, and tell yourself, I am a millionaire, your subconscious may reject it outright because it feels too far from your current reality. Instead, start with affirmations that feel believable but still stretch your mindset. For instance, say, I am on my way to financial freedom, or I am creating opportunities for abundance. Another critical aspect of affirmations is emotion. Words alone are not enough. You must feel the truth of what you're saying. When you say, I am confident, imagine a moment in your life where you felt truly self-assured. Relive that feeling as you speak the words. Emotions amplify the power of affirmations, making them far more effective. Timing also matters. The best times to practice affirmations are in the morning and before bed. These are moments when your mind is most receptive, as your brain transitions between conscious and subconscious states. Stand in front of a mirror, look yourself in the eye, and speak your affirmations with conviction. This practice may feel strange at first, but it's one of the most direct ways to reprogram your subconscious. Affirmations are not just about repetition, they're about alignment. To see real results, your actions must support your words. If you affirm, I am healthy, but continue habits that harm your well-being, the affirmation loses its power. True transformation happens when your thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony. One of the most powerful ways to enhance your affirmations is through visualization. As you speak your affirmations, close your eyes and create a mental picture of the reality you're declaring. If your affirmation is, I am successful, imagine yourself in a specific scenario that represents success to you. Picture the details, your surroundings, the people, the feelings of accomplishment. Visualization turns your affirmations into vivid experiences, making them more believable to your subconscious. Affirmations are not just words, they are seeds of change. With consistent practice, they can reprogram years of limiting beliefs and open the door to new possibilities. Speak them with intention, feel them with conviction, and align them with your actions. Over time, you'll find that the life you once dreamed of becomes the life you live. One of the most transformative concepts you can embrace is the idea of living in the end. This principle, rooted in the teachings of Neville Goddard, is a profound approach to creating the life you desire. It invites you to embody the mindset, emotions, and behaviors of the person who has already achieved what you are striving for. This is not a practice of wishful thinking or idle daydreaming. It's about aligning your inner world with the reality you seek to manifest. At its core, living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Imagine what it would be like if your goal had already been achieved. How would you feel? How would you think? How would you act? By stepping into that state of being, you begin to reshape your subconscious and set the stage for your desires to unfold. The subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It responds to emotions, beliefs, and repetition. When you consistently place yourself in the emotional state of having achieved your goal, your subconscious accepts this as your new reality and works tirelessly to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. This is why living in the end is so powerful. It bypasses the need for external validation and focuses solely on the internal alignment that drives change. To practice this, start by visualizing the end result of your desire. Let's say your goal is financial freedom. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living that reality. See yourself in the home of your dreams, enjoying a lifestyle that reflects abundance. Feel the peace, joy, and confidence that come with financial security. The key is to immerse yourself so fully in this vision that it feels real to you. It's important to note that this practice goes beyond visualization. Living in the end also means aligning your thoughts, words, and actions with the reality you want to create. If you're envisioning yourself as financially free, but constantly speaking about lack or making decisions from a place of fear, you're sending conflicting signals to your subconscious. Consistency is crucial. Your inner dialogue and outward behaviors must reinforce the reality you are stepping into. For example, someone living in the end of financial abundance wouldn't say, I can't afford this. Instead, they might say, I'm prioritizing my resources, or I'm making decisions that support my long-term wealth. Even if the current circumstances don't reflect abundance, The language and mindset must align with the desired state. This shift in perspective begins to attract opportunities and align your actions with the outcome you seek. Living in the end also requires letting go of doubt. This can be one of the hardest parts of the practice. When the present reality feels far from your desired future, it's natural to question whether your efforts will pay off. But doubt is the enemy of manifestation. It disrupts the alignment between your inner state and your goals. To counter this, focus on faith in your ability to create change, faith in the process, and faith in the unseen forces working in your favor. Another aspect of living in the end is detachment from how and when your desires will manifest. This doesn't mean you stop caring about your goals, rather it means trusting that they are on their way and releasing the need to control every step of the journey. When you live in the end, you're no longer fixated on the obstacles or the timeline. Instead, you're anchored in the certainty that your desired outcome is inevitable. A practical way to reinforce this mindset is through daily affirmations and journaling. Write down your goals as if they have already been achieved. Use present tense language like, I am grateful for the financial freedom I now enjoy. Or, I am living a life of abundance and fulfillment. By repeatedly affirming and reflecting on your desired state, you strengthen your belief in its reality and deepen your emotional connection to it. Living in the end is not about pretending or ignoring your current circumstances. It's about choosing to focus on the possibility of what can be rather than the limitations of what is. It's about recognizing that you are the creator of your experience and your inner world holds the key to transforming your outer reality. When you embody the emotions and mindset of your future self, you create a powerful resonance that attracts opportunities, ideas, and people aligned with your vision. The process requires discipline, faith, and persistence, but the results are undeniable. Each moment you spend living in the end is a step closer to making it your reality. Words have power, but when paired with emotions, their influence becomes exponentially greater. Your emotions are the fuel that gives life to your words, turning them from mere sounds into powerful tools of creation. Without emotional alignment, words remain hollow, empty statements that fail to penetrate your subconscious mind. But when you attach feelings of joy, confidence, and belief to the words you speak, they resonate deeply within, shape your reality. Consider this: have you ever said something positive like I am successful, yet felt doubt creeping in the background? That disconnect between your words and your emotions dilutes the impact of your affirmation. The subconscious mind responds not only to the content of your words, but to the energy and conviction behind them. If your emotions don't align with your words, your mind struggles to take them seriously. This is why aligning emotions with words is crucial. When you declare, I am worthy of success, it's not enough to simply say the words. You must feel the truth of that statement. Imagine the excitement, pride, and sense of accomplishment that come with success. Feel it in your heart, as if it were happening right now. The stronger the emotional connection to your words, the more effective they become in reprogramming your subconscious mind. To align your emotions with your words, start by becoming fully present in the moment. Many of us go through affirmations or positive self-talk mechanically without truly engaging with them. Take a moment to pause, breathe, and focus on the meaning behind your words. Visualize a scenario that matches what you're affirming. For example, if your affirmation is, I am financially free, close your eyes and picture yourself living a life of financial abundance. See the home, the lifestyle, and the freedom that come with it. As you do this, notice how your body reacts. Feel the excitement in your chest, the warmth of gratitude, or the calmness of security. Another way to align emotions with words is by tapping into past experiences. Think of a time when you felt truly successful, confident, or happy. Recalling those moments brings up the same emotions, which you can then attach to your affirmations. This practice creates a bridge between your past achievements and your future goals, making your affirmations feel more real and attainable. It's also important to address any resistance or negative emotions that arise when you speak affirmations. If you find yourself doubting the truth of your words or feeling conflicted, don't ignore those feelings. Acknowledge them and explore where they're coming from. Resistance often stems from deeply ingrained beliefs that contradict your affirmations. For example, if you affirm, I am worthy of love, but feel unworthy deep down, that inner conflict needs to be resolved. Journaling, meditation, or speaking with a trusted mentor can help you work through these blocks. To overcome resistance, you can use a technique called emotional bridging. Instead of jumping straight to a statement that feels untrue, ease into it with a transitional affirmation. For instance, instead of saying, I am wealthy, start with, I am open to opportunities for wealth, or I am learning to attract abundance. These statements feel more believable and allow you to gradually build the emotional alignment needed to embrace the larger affirmation. Another powerful practice is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your emotional state instantly and amplifies the energy behind your words. Before speaking your affirmations, take a moment to reflect on something you're genuinely grateful for. It could be a supportive friend, a recent accomplishment, or simply the fact that you have the opportunity to grow. Gratitude opens your heart and primes your mind to receive the positive energy of your affirmations. Your body language and tone of voice also play a role in emotional alignment. When you speak affirmations, stand tall, take deep breaths, and speak with confidence. Your posture and voice send signals to your mind, reinforcing the emotions you're trying to evoke. Even if you don't feel confident at first, adopting a confident stance can trick your mind into feeling more self-assured. Consistency is key when aligning emotions with words. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to tap into the feelings that match your affirmations. Over time, this emotional alignment rewires your subconscious mind, making it more receptive to your desires and goals. Based on previous experiences of effectiveness in this method, it usually takes about 5 days to create such a belief. Remember, the goal isn't just to say the words, it's to live them, to feel them, to embody them. When your emotions align with your words, you create a powerful synergy that accelerates your journey toward the life you want to create. This alignment transforms your affirmations from mere statements into energetic declarations that shape your reality. It's not just about speaking your desires, it's about feeling them so deeply that they become an undeniable truth within you. Then the question becomes about feeling them even deeper. What is my intention deeper than my affirmations? What is my intention deeper than my affirmations? Consistency is the cornerstone of transformation, especially when it comes to reprogramming your subconscious mind. Changing deeply ingrained beliefs or thought patterns isn't something that happens overnight. It requires a persistent, intentional effort to reshape the way you think, speak, and act. The subconscious mind, like fertile soil, doesn't care what seeds you plant. It simply nurtures what you feed it. Repeatedly, experimentally, ongoingly, until you create seeds. The key to creating lasting change lies in the consistent reinforcement of empowering thoughts and habits. Self-discipline is the operational foundation of success and can only be built upon. Think of your subconscious as a blank canvas. Each time you speak an affirmation, visualize a goal, or act in alignment with your desired future, you're painting on that canvas. But one stroke of the brush isn't enough to create a masterpiece. Transformation requires layer upon layer, day after day, until the image becomes clear and vibrant. This is why consistency isn't just important, it's essential. That is, the challenge with consistency is that it often feels tedious or repetitive. When you first begin replacing negative self-talk with empowering affirmations, it might seem like progress is slow. You might catch yourself thinking, is this even working? But that's the exact moment when you must double down. Change doesn't happen in bursts of inspiration. It happens through steady, disciplined effort. Last thing, every time you choose to speak positively about yourself, even when it feels unnatural, you're reinforcing a new neural pathway in your brain. Over time, these pathways strengthen, and your subconscious mind adopts them as the new normal. In other words, you create the new normal. One of the most effective ways to maintain consistency is to establish a daily routine. Treat reprogramming your mind as you would any other important commitment like exercise or work. Set aside specific times each day to practice affirmations, visualization, or meditation. Morning and evening are particularly powerful times for this, as your mind is naturally more receptive during these transitional periods. And a logical tradition suggests that better than 80% of your performance in business, meditation, or mental commitments lie in the mind. Start your day with empowering statements like, "I am confident and capable," and end it by visualizing yourself living your dreams. Journaling is another tool that can help you stay consistent. Write down your affirmations and goals daily. This practice not only reinforces your intentions, but also allows you to track your progress over time. Seeing how far you've come can be incredibly motivating, especially on days when you feel stuck or uncertain. Allowing you to revisit your goal down the line only needs to inspire you to reach your goal daily. While consistency is crucial, it's equally important to approach the process with patience and self-compassion. Reprogramming your mind means undoing years, sometimes decades, of limiting beliefs. There will be moments of doubt, frustration, or even regression, and that's okay. The key is not to let those moments derail your efforts. When you stumble, remind yourself that setbacks are a natural part of the journey. What matters is your commitment to getting back on track. You want to make things right in the world, yes? And in those individuals, anomalies. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone is inadequate. Everyone has bad moments, narcissistic moments. Everyone makes mistakes. If only a helpful way to stay consistent is to create a supportive environment. Surround yourself with reminders of your goals and affirmations. This could include sticky notes on your mirror, vision boards, or even setting reminders on your phone to pause and reflect on your intentions. The more you immerse yourself in positive reinforcement, the easier it becomes to stay focused and committed. Consistency also requires guarding your mind against negative influences. Be mindful of the people, media, and environments you expose yourself to. Spending time with individuals who constantly complain or criticize can sabotage your progress. Instead, seek out uplifting content, communities, and mentors who align with your goals. This doesn't mean cutting ties with everyone who isn't on the same path as you, but it does mean setting boundaries to protect your mental space. Another critical aspect of consistency is emotional resilience. There will be times when external circumstances challenge your progress, financial struggles, relationship issues, or unexpected setbacks. In these moments, it's easy to revert to old patterns of fear or doubt. But these are the moments when consistency matters most. When faced with challenges, return to your affirmations, visualization, and positive self-talk. Remind yourself that difficulties are temporary, and your commitment to growth is stronger than any obstacle. Visualization plays a significant role in maintaining consistency. When you vividly imagine your desired outcome, you create a mental blueprint that your subconscious mind works to achieve. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing your goals as if they've already been accomplished. See yourself living the life you desire. Feel the emotions associated with that success, and immerse yourself fully in the experience. The more real it feels to you, the more motivated you'll be to stay consistent. One of the most profound shifts that occur with consistent practice is a change in your identity. At first, affirmations and positive habits might feel like something you're doing, but over time they become part of who you are. You no longer have to force yourself to think positively or act confidently. It becomes second nature. This shift in identity is the ultimate goal of reprogramming your mind. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about committing to the process, trusting in the power of repetition, and believing that every small step contributes to a larger transformation. Each time you choose to align your words, thoughts, and actions with your goals, you're reinforcing a new reality, one that reflects the best version of yourself. Reprogramming your mind through consistency is a lifelong journey. It's not a quick fix or a one-time effort. It's a practice that evolves as you grow. The beauty of this process is that the more consistent you are, the more natural it becomes. What starts as a conscious effort eventually becomes a way of life, paving the way for lasting success and fulfillment. As we've explored, your words are far more than just sounds. They are the architects of your reality. The energy behind them, the seeds they plant in your mind, and the emotions they carry all work together to shape the life you live. Breaking free from the cycle of negative self-talk, mastering the power of affirmations, living in the end and aligning your emotions with your words require consistent effort. But the reward is worth it, a life transformed from the inside out. The journey of reprogramming your mind is not about perfection or instant results. It's about persistence, faith, and the unwavering belief that you are capable of creating the life you desire. Each word you speak, each thought you nurture, is a step closer to the reality you've envisioned. Remember, transformation is a process. It may take time, but every moment of intentional effort is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your future. Your subconscious mind is always listening, always shaping, and always working to align your external world with your internal beliefs. Choose to speak with purpose, act with conviction, and feel the truth of your success as though it's already yours. With consistency and faith, you can turn the life you dream of into the life you live. Let this be your reminder. You hold the power within you. Your words are your tools, your emotions are your fuel, and your actions are the bridge to your future. Speak life, speak abundance, and speak success into existence. The moment you take control of your inner world, you take control of your destiny. Now, the question is, what reality will you create with the power of your words? I command you by spiritual power that nothing but happiness shall come to you. In this world, imagine for a moment the depth of your own being. Beneath the roles you play, the name you carry, and the limitations you believe in lies something extraordinary, something divine. But do you dare to believe it? Do you dare to entertain the possibility that the essence of your existence, the very foundation of your being, is God Himself? The scriptures declare, "Be still and know that I am God." Have you ever stopped to wonder what those words truly mean? Could it be that they are not an external declaration from some distant deity, but an invitation to look within yourself? In the stillness of your heart and mind, there exists a presence so vast, so infinite, that it defies comprehension. What if I told you that this presence is not separate from you, but it is you? The being you really are is God. Pause for a moment. Feel the weight of that statement. The being you really are is God. Not a fragment, not a reflection, but the fullness of divine potential rests within you. Do you feel the stirrings of truth as you hear these words? Or does your mind rebel, clinging to the notion of separateness, of unworthiness? For centuries we have been conditioned to believe that God is distant, removed, and unattainable. Yet the truth is much closer than your very breath. Have you ever considered that your imagination, the faculty through which you dream, create, and aspire, is not merely a human function, but the very instrument of God's expression? What if every thought you hold and every image you dwell upon is a seed planted in the fertile soil of divinity within you? Think of it. The world you experience is shaped by the inner world you nurture. The reality you live is a reflection of the God you embody. Does it feel too grand, too impossible to accept? Perhaps you've been taught that you are small, flawed, and insignificant. But let me ask you this: who gave you the ability to dream of something greater? Who placed within you the desire to rise above circumstances, to love, to create, and to transform? Could it be that these are not human impulses but the very attributes of God emerging from within you? You may have forgotten who you are, but the divine within you has never ceased to be. Consider your moments of despair, when the world seemed to crumble around you. In those times, did you not call out to something higher, something beyond yourself? And yet, when you were answered, where did the strength to rise again come from? Did it descend from the heavens, or did it emerge from within you, unbidden and unbreakable? That strength, that light, is God, and it has always been within you. Now you might wonder, if I am truly divine, why do I experience suffering, doubt, and failure? The answer is simple yet profound. You are learning to awaken. Just as a seed must push through darkness to reach the light, so too must you confront your own shadows to realize your true nature. The trials you face are not punishments, they are invitations to grow, to awaken, and to remember who you really are. Let me leave you with this thought before we explore the deeper truths. If you were to strip away every label, every fear, and every doubt, what would remain? Who would you be? The answer is simple. You would be the I am, the eternal and unchanging essence of God. You would stand in the fullness of your being, knowing that all things are possible because the Creator of all things dwells within you. Awareness of I am. Awareness of I am is the foundation upon which the entire structure of your spiritual and worldly life is built. It is the most sacred and profound truth that you can ever come to know. When Moses stood before the burning bush and asked for God's name, the answer he received was simple yet infinitely powerful. I am that I am. These words were not merely a declaration of God's identity, but an unveiling of the divine essence that resides in every human being. The phrase 1 a.m. is the core of your existence. It is your consciousness, your awareness of being. And yet, how often do we take this awareness for granted? Take a moment to reflect on the words I am. Strip them of all attachments and labels. Do not say I am tired, I am joyful, or I am anything. Simply hold the awareness of I am. In that stillness, in that pure acknowledgement of existence, lies the seed of infinite power. This awareness is not a small thing. It is the very consciousness through which you actually experience the world. Without it, nothing could exist for you. Everything you see, hear, touch, and feel arises because you are aware. I am is the gateway to your divine nature, the bridge between your human experience and your God self. But why is this awareness so transformative? Because whatever you attach to I am becomes your reality. If you say I am unworthy, then unworthiness becomes the lens through which you experience life. If you declare I am abundant, abundance begins to flow into your existence. This is not merely a psychological trick, it is a spiritual law. The universe responds to your awareness of being. It takes the shape of the words you attach to your consciousness and mirrors them back to you in the form of experiences. Now consider this: if I am is God, then every time you speak or think these words, you are wielding the creative power of the divine. How often do you use this power carelessly, declaring things that do not serve you? How many times have you said, I am not enough, I am incapable, or I am unlucky? Each of these statements is a misuse of the divine gift of awareness. Yet, the moment you become conscious of this truth, you gain the ability to transform your life. You can begin to consciously direct the creative power of I am toward the fulfillment of your highest aspirations. This is not about positive thinking or wishful dreaming. It is about aligning with the truth of your being. When you declare I am strong, I am loved, or I am abundant, you are not merely stating affirmations. You are aligning yourself with the divine reality that already exists within you. The more you dwell in this awareness, the more your outer world will reflect it. This is the essence of creation. What you hold in your awareness becomes your experience. Let's take this a step further. Imagine waking up every morning with the conscious realization that I am is God. How would this change the way you approach your day? Would you allow fear and doubt to dominate your thoughts? Or would you step forward with confidence, knowing that the infinite power of the divine is within you? Would you settle for mediocrity, or would you strive for greatness, understanding that you are not separate from the source of all creation? The awareness of I am transforms everything. It turns your struggles into opportunities, your fears into faith, and your dreams into reality. But awareness alone is not enough, it must be practiced. Begin each day by affirming your divine nature. Sit in silence and declare, I am. Let these words resonate within you, free of any labels or limitations. Feel the truth of your being. As you go about your day, pay attention to the words you attach to I am. Are they uplifting or limiting? Are they expressions of your highest self, or do they reflect the fears and doubts of the world? By becoming conscious of your words and thoughts, you take the first step toward mastering the creative power of I am. And remember this, the world will try to convince you that you are less than divine. It will tell you that you are small, powerless, and insignificant. But these are lies born of ignorance. The truth is that you are infinite, powerful, and divine. The awareness of I am is your birthright, your inheritance as a child of God. Claim it, live it, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Imagination as divine power. Imagination is often dismissed as a mere tool for daydreaming, a frivolous escape from reality. Yet, what if I told you that your imagination is the very power through which God creates? What if every image, thought, and desire that takes shape in your mind is not just a fleeting idea, but a divine blueprint for reality? The truth is that imagination is not just a human faculty. It is the essence of the divine within you. Through imagination you shape your world. Through imagination you bring the unseen into the seen. And through imagination you awaken to the truth of your divine nature. Consider this, everything that exists in the physical world first began as a thought, an idea, or an image in someone's mind. The chair you sit on, the device you are using to read this, the home you live in, all of these began as creations of the imagination. But where did these thoughts come from? Were they simply random occurrences, or were they expressions of a deeper truth? The answer is clear, they were manifestations of the divine power within. Your imagination is a sacred tool, a bridge between the spiritual and the physical. It is through imagination that you commune with the infinite, for it is in this realm that all possibilities exist. When you close your eyes and envision a better life, a healed relationship, or a fulfilled dream, you are not merely fantasizing. You are creating. The images you hold in your mind, when infused with belief and feeling, have the power to shape your reality. This is the divine law of creation, and it operates through you. But let me ask you, how are you using your imagination? Are you envisioning a life of abundance, joy, and purpose? Or are you allowing fear and doubt to dictate the images you hold? Every moment, whether consciously or unconsciously, you are using your imagination to create your world. The question is not whether you are creating, but what you are creating. Are you aligning with your divine potential, or are you reinforcing the limitations imposed by the world? The power of imagination lies in its ability to make the unseen real. When you imagine something vividly, with all your senses and emotions engaged, your subconscious mind accepts as a reality. This is why visualization is such a powerful tool. By repeatedly imagining your desired outcome, you impress it upon your subconscious mind, which then works to bring it into physical form. This is not magic, it is the natural outworking of divine law. To harness the power of imagination, you must first become aware of its potential. Begin by paying attention to the images and thoughts that dominate your mind. Are they aligned with your highest self, or do they reflect fear and limitation? Next, consciously choose to focus on what you desire. Close your eyes and create a mental picture of your ideal life. See it clearly in vivid detail. Feel the emotions associated with it. Hear the sounds, smell the scents, and experience the joy of your vision as if it were already real. The more real it feels in your mind, the more powerfully it will manifest in your life. But do not stop there. Imagination is not just about creating personal success, it is about aligning with the divine will. Ask yourself, what does God desire to create through me? What purpose does my imagination serve in the grand scheme of creation? When you align your desires with the greater good, you tap into an even greater power. Your imagination becomes a channel for divine expression, and your creations take on a higher purpose. Remember this, your imagination is limitless. There are no boundaries to what you can create, except those you impose upon yourself. The only limits are the ones you believe in. When you free your mind from the constraints of fear and doubt, you open yourself to infinite possibilities. You begin to see the world not as it is, but as it could be. And in that vision, you find the power to transform not only your own life, but the lives of those around you. Imagination is the birthplace of miracles. It is the tool through which God works in the world. Embrace it. Use it wisely, and remember that the images you hold in your mind are not mere fantasies, they are the seeds of reality. Nurture them with faith, and watch as they blossom into the life you were always meant to live. Faith in the unseen. Faith in the unseen is the cornerstone of creation. It is the invisible thread that connects your desires to their manifestation, the bridge between what you imagine and what you experience. Faith is not merely wishful thinking. It is an unshakable belief in the reality of things not yet visible. It is the confidence that the unseen world is just as real, if not more so, than the physical world you inhabit. Without faith, imagination becomes idle dreaming, and awareness of I am remains dormant. Consider this: every great accomplishment in human history began with faith in something unseen. The invention of the aeroplane required faith that human beings could defy gravity. The creation of medical breakthroughs depended on the belief that solutions existed even when they were not yet discovered. Faith is the spark that ignites progress, the fuel that powers innovation, and the anchor that keeps hope alive in the face of adversity. But where does this faith come from? It arises from the recognition that you are not separate from the divine. When you understand that the essence of God resides within you, faith becomes a natural extension of your being. It is the quiet assurance that the infinite power of the divine is working through you, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. Faith allows you to walk confidently into the unknown, knowing that you are guided and supported by a force greater than yourself. Faith is not blind optimism. It is an active force that requires your participation. To have faith in the unseen, you must cultivate a vision of what you desire and hold it firmly in your mind. You must act as though your desire is already fulfilled, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. This is not about pretending or deceiving yourself. It is about embodying the truth of your divine nature. When you act in faith, you align yourself with the laws of the universe, and the unseen begins to take form. Think of a seed planted in the soil. When you plant it, you cannot see what happens beneath the surface. Yet you water it, nurture it, and trust that it will grow. This is faith in action. You do not doubt that the seed will become a plant, even though the process is hidden from your eyes. In the same way, faith requires you to trust in the unseen processes that bring your desires to fruition. It asks you to believe in the reality of what you cannot yet perceive and to act in alignment with that belief. Mark 3 verse 10, religion for which is unknown. Truth. Faith is most powerful when it is unwavering, even in the face of doubt and difficulty. Life will test your faith. There will be moments when circumstances seem to contradict your desires, when the world tells you that your dreams are impossible. In these moments, faith becomes your anchor. It reminds you that the physical world is not the ultimate reality, that the unseen is always at work, and that divine timing is perfect. Faith does not waver in the face of obstacles. It grows stronger. To cultivate faith in the unseen, begin by quieting the noise of doubt and fear. Spend time in stillness, connecting with the awareness of AM, your belief in the reality of your desires, even if you cannot yet see them. Surround yourself with positive influences that reinforce your faith and take inspired action toward your goals. Remember that faith is not passive. It is an active collaboration with the divine. As you step forward in faith, the universe responds, aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities to bring your vision to life. You will leap from the shadow of destitution. Your world reflects your inner state. Your outer world is a perfect mirror of your inner state. This truth can be both empowering and challenging. It means that the circumstances of your life are not random, but are directly influenced by the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions you hold within. If you want to change your external reality, you must first look inward and transform your inner world. Consider a still lake. When the surface is calm, it reflects the surrounding landscape with perfect clarity. But when the water is disturbed, the reflection becomes distorted. In the same way, your inner state determines the clarity and harmony of your external experiences. When your mind is filled with peace, gratitude, and love, your life reflects those qualities. But when your inner world is dominated by fear, anger, or doubt, your external reality mirrors that chaos. This principle is not a new concept. It is a universal law that has been taught for centuries. These words reveal a profound truth. Your life is shaped by the thoughts and beliefs you hold at your core. If you believe in lack, you will experience scarcity. If you believe in abundance, you will attract prosperity. Your inner state is the blueprint for your external reality. Changing your outer world begins with self-awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that dominate your mind and the emotions that govern your days. Are they aligned with the life you want to create? If not, it is time to make a shift. Begin by cultivating positive, empowering beliefs about yourself and the world around you. Replace thoughts of limitation with thoughts of possibility. Replace fear with faith, anger with forgiveness, and doubt with confidence. One of the most powerful ways to transform your inner state is through gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. It aligns your energy with the frequency of love and abundance, attracting more of those qualities into your life. Take time each day to reflect on the blessings you already have. As you do, you will notice a shift in your inner state, and your outer world will begin to reflect that shift. Another important practice is visualization. Use your imagination to create a clear picture of the life you desire. See it in vivid detail and allow yourself to feel the emotions associated with it. As you hold this vision in your mind, you are impressing it upon your subconscious, which will work to bring it into reality. Visualization is a powerful tool for aligning your inner state with your desired outcomes. Second level studies. 1904. Remember, your outer world is not fixed. It is a dynamic reflection of your inner state. As you transform your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, your reality will naturally shift to match. This is not a process that happens overnight, but with consistent effort and faith, you will begin to see the changes you desire. The power to shape your world lies within you. By mastering your inner state, you become the conscious creator of your life, aligning with the divine truth of who you really are. Challenges as catalysts for awakening. Challenges are not random obstacles thrown into your path. They are divine opportunities disguised as difficulties. Each challenge you face is like a chisel in the hands of a sculptor, shaping and refining you into the masterpiece you were always meant to be. While the human mind often perceives challenges as punishments or setbacks, the divine perspective reveals them as necessary tools for growth and awakening. Think about the most significant moments in your life, 2014's, and the moments that truly shaped who you are. Were they times of ease and comfort, or were they born out of struggle? Challenges strip away illusions, forcing you to confront your innermost beliefs and desires. They reveal where you have been clinging to fear, doubt, or limitation. More importantly, they show you the strength and resilience you carry within. When you encounter a challenge, the first question to ask is not, "Why is this happening to me?" but rather, "What is this teaching me?" The divine wisdom within you understands that every challenge holds a lesson, a hidden treasure waiting to be unearthed. Perhaps it is teaching you patience, resilience, or trust. Perhaps it is guiding you to let go of something that no longer serves you, or pushing you to step into a higher version of yourself. Challenges are also mirrors. They reflect the state of your inner world, showing you where you need to heal, grow, or shift your perspective. For example, a recurring challenge in your relationships might be pointing to unresolved fears or limiting beliefs about love. A financial struggle might be calling you to examine your beliefs about abundance and worthiness. The demand for excellence will force you to gain more desirable skills and knowledge for yourself and for others. By viewing challenges as mirrors, you move from a place of victimhood to empowerment, understanding that you have the power to change your outer circumstances by transforming your inner state. Inevitably change your fortune and position in a 24 hours. End quote. It is important to remember that challenges are temporary. Like storms, they may shake you, but they also clear the air, making way for new growth. When you face a challenge with faith and courage, you emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your divine nature. The very act of overcoming a challenge expands your awareness, helping you see life from a higher perspective. You begin to recognize that challenges are not barriers but bridges, leading you closer to your purpose and potential. Begin to recognize that challenges are not barriers but bridges, leading you closer to your purpose and potential. So, to embrace challenges as catalysts for awakening, start by shifting your mindset. Instead of resisting or fearing difficulties, welcome them as opportunities for growth. Affirm to yourself that every challenge is here to serve your highest good, even if you cannot see how in the moment. Trust that the divine within you has already equipped you with everything you need to overcome and thrive. Next, approach challenges with curiosity and openness. Ask yourself, what is this challenge revealing to me? How can I grow through this experience? By seeking the lesson rather than focusing on the pain, you align yourself with the divine purpose of the challenge. You begin to see beyond the immediate discomfort and into the transformative power it holds. Cultivate gratitude for your challenges. This may seem counterintuitive, but gratitude shifts your energy from resistance to acceptance, allowing divine wisdom to flow through you. When you can thank a challenge for what it is teaching you, you transcend it, transforming it into a stepping stone toward greater awareness and fulfillment. Gratitude as a gateway. Gratitude is one of the most powerful spiritual practices you can cultivate. It is the key that unlocks the doors to abundance, joy, and divine connection. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present, aligning your energy with the infinite blessings already surrounding you. It is not just a fleeting emotion, but a state of being, a lens through which you view and experience life. Saj, Gatiran lens through which you view and experience life. When you express gratitude, you acknowledge the divine hand at work in your life. And you affirm that you are cared for, supported, and guided, even in moments of uncertainty. Gratitude transforms your perception, helping you see challenges as opportunities and setbacks as setups for greater blessings. It reminds you that every experience, no matter how small, carries a gift. Gratitude is also a magnet for abundance. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you attract more of the same. This is not merely a psychological phenomenon, it is a spiritual law. The universe responds to your gratitude by multiplying your blessings. By appreciating the good in your life, you create a vibrational match for more good to flow into your experience. To cultivate gratitude, begin each day by acknowledging your blessings. Take a few moments to reflect on what you are thankful for. Your health, your relationships, your opportunities, even the challenges that are helping you grow. Write them down if you can, as the act of writing reinforces your awareness of abundance. Gratitude is the most powerful when practiced in the present moment. It is easy to be grateful for the obvious blessings in your life, But true gratitude arises when you can appreciate the beauty in the mundane and the lessons in the difficult. For example, instead of complaining about a busy day, be grateful for the opportunities it brings. Instead of resenting a challenge, be thankful for the strength it is helping you build. This shift in perspective transforms your energy and aligns you with the divine flow. In terms of physics, he adds, gratitude is also a form of surrender. It acknowledges that you are not in control of everything and that this is a good thing. By expressing gratitude, you release the need to force or manipulate outcomes. You trust in the divine timing and wisdom that orchestrates all things. This trust opens your heart, creating space for miracles to unfold. As you practice gratitude, you will notice a profound shift in your inner and outer worlds. Your perspective will become clearer, your relationships richer, and your life more fulfilling. Gratitude connects you to the divine essence within and around you, reminding you that you are never alone. It is the gateway to a life of peace, joy, and infinite possibility. Living from the end. Living from the end is not just a concept, it is a transformative way of being that bridges the gap between your desires and their manifestation. It invites you to step into the reality you wish to create as if it has already come to pass. This principle transcends mere positive thinking and taps into the profound truth that your inner state dictates your outer reality. When you live from the end, you embody the feelings, thoughts, and behaviors of someone who already possesses what they desire. This state of being aligns your entire self with the outcome you seek, sending a clear and powerful signal to the universe. Unlike a wish or a hope, which carries with it a sense of lack, living from the end operates from a place of completion and fulfillment. It is a declaration that the work is already done, even if the physical evidence has not yet materialized. To live from the end, begin by creating a vivid mental picture of the life you wish to experience. Close your eyes and allow your imagination to paint a detailed scene. If your goal is to achieve financial freedom, visualize yourself living in abundance. See yourself in your dream home, enjoying the freedom to spend time with loved ones or pursue your passions. If your desire is to heal a relationship, imagine the warmth, connection, and harmony you wish to share with that person. The key is to make the vision as real as possible, engaging all your senses and emotions. But visualization alone is not enough. The power of living from the end lies in feeling. You must cultivate the emotions that correspond to your desired reality. Ask yourself, how would I feel if my dream were already fulfilled? Perhaps it's a sense of peace, joy, gratitude, or confidence. Embrace those feelings fully and let them permeate your being. This emotional alignment is what activates the creative power within you, transforming your vision into reality. Living from the end also requires faith, a deep and unwavering trust in the unseen. There may be moments when the physical world seems to contradict your inner reality. Perhaps you are pursuing a career goal, but the opportunities appear scarce. Or maybe you are seeking love, yet you feel surrounded by rejection. In these moments, it is vital to remain steadfast in your inner vision. Remember, the physical world is not the ultimate reality. It is merely a reflection of your past thoughts and beliefs. By maintaining your inner alignment, you allow the external world to shift and catch up with your new state of being. Action is another crucial component of living from the end. While the process begins within, it must also be reflected in your external behavior. Ask yourself, if my desire were already fulfilled, how would I act? What decisions would I make? How would I carry myself? Begin to embody those actions now. For example, if you aspire to be a successful entrepreneur, act with the confidence, discipline, and creativity of someone who has already achieved that success. If you seek a loving relationship, show kindness, compassion, and love to yourself and others. By aligning your actions with your desired reality, you reinforce your inner state and accelerate its manifestation. One of the challenges of living from the end is releasing attachment to the outcome. It is natural to want to control every detail of the manifestation process, but this can create resistance. Instead, surrender to the divine wisdom that orchestrates all things. Trust that the universe is working in perfect harmony to bring your vision to fruition. Your role is to hold the vision, embody the feeling, and take inspired action, leaving the how and when to the infinite intelligence of creation. Living from the end is not about pretending or escaping reality, it is about transforming your reality from the inside out. When you operate from this state of being, you align yourself with the natural laws of the universe. You become a co-creator with the divine, channeling its infinite power to shape your life according to your highest vision. As you practice living from the end, you will begin to notice subtle yet profound changes in your life. Synchronicities will appear, offering guidance and confirmation that you are on the right path. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable will dissolve, replaced by opportunities and support. Relationships will transform, and new doors will open in ways you never imagined. These changes are not coincidences, they are the result of your inner alignment and faith in the process. One of the most inspiring aspects of living from the end is the freedom it brings. No longer are you bound by fear, doubt, or lack. Instead, you operate from a place of abundance, confidence, and trust. You become the master of your reality, recognizing that the power to create lies within you. This realization is both empowering and liberating, allowing you to approach life with a sense of joy and purpose. To integrate this practice into your daily life, start with small, achievable goals. Choose a desire that feels meaningful but not overwhelming and begin to live as though it is already fulfilled. As you experience success with smaller manifestations, your faith and confidence will grow, enabling you to tackle larger goals with the same mindset. Another powerful tool is gratitude. By expressing gratitude for your desired reality as if it already exists, you reinforce your alignment with that reality. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, creating a vibrational match for your desires. Each day, take time to thank the universe for the fulfillment of your vision, even before it appears in physical form. Remember, living from the end is not a one-time event, it is a way of life. It requires consistency, faith, and a willingness to let go of old patterns and beliefs. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel, and the more you will witness the incredible power of this principle in action. In the end, living from the end is about stepping into your true identity as a creator. It is about realizing that the life you desire is not something you have to chase or earn. It is something you can embody right now. The divine within you holds the power to bring any vision to life. By living from the end, you activate that power, transforming not only your own life, but the world around you. Step into your vision, trust the process, and watch as the universe rises to meet you. As you move forward, remember that you are not separate from the divine, you are an expression of it. Every thought you think, every vision you hold, and every action you take carries the creative force of the divine. Use this power wisely, aligning yourself with love, purpose, and faith. Trust in the process even when the path is unclear. For the divine within you is always guiding you toward greater growth and fulfillment. Let this be your daily affirmation. I am connected to infinite possibilities. I create my reality with awareness and love. My imagination is a tool for divine expression, and through it, I manifest a life of abundance and joy. Go forth with courage and confidence, knowing that the power to transform your life lies within you. The journey may not always be easy, but it is always worth it. Step into the truth of your being and watch as the world transforms around you. You are divine, you are powerful, and you are the creator of your destiny. The time to awaken is now. Close your eyes for a moment and step into the silence of your own being. Let the noise of the world fade into the background and allow yourself to feel the weight of these words. God and I are one. What does it truly mean to claim such a statement? Is it merely an idea to ponder, or is it the very essence of your existence waiting to be awakened? These words are not just an affirmation, but the key to unlocking the mysteries of life itself. The words are not just an affirmation, but the key to unlocking the mysteries of life itself. From the beginning of time, humanity has sought to understand the nature of God. We have built temples, written scriptures, and offered prayers, all in pursuit of a connection with something greater than ourselves. Yet, What if the greatest secret of all is not found in the heavens above, but within the depths of your own soul? What if the divine is not a distant force, but the very fabric of your being? Throughout history, the world has misunderstood the true nature of God. We have been taught to see ourselves as separate, as mere mortals pleading for divine intervention. But the truth is far greater than we have dared to believe. You are not a supplicant, you are a co-creator. The power that fashioned the stars, that set the universe into motion, is the same power that resides within you. This is the truth that has been hidden in plain sight, and today we will uncover it together. Out of the centuries of parchment and leonardo are presented to you the truth that has been hidden in plain sight, and today we will uncover it together. Think of the moments in your life when you felt most alive. Perhaps it was the birth of a child, the triumph over adversity, or the quiet stillness of a sunset. In those moments, did you not feel a sense of oneness with all that is? That feeling is not an illusion, it is the reality. It is a glimpse into the truth that you and God are inseparable, two expressions of the same infinite being. But how often do we live as though this is true? How often do we allow ourselves to see beyond the illusions of lack, limitation, and fear? The world is quick to tell you what you cannot do, what you are not, and what you will never achieve. Yet the world is merely a reflection of your inner state. If you believe in separation, you will see separation. If you believe in unity, you will see the hand of God in every aspect of your life. Once you see the hand of God in every aspect of your life, pause for a moment and ask yourself, who am I? Am I merely a body, a collection of memories and experiences, or am I something more? The answer lies not in the mind, but in the heart. When you silence the doubts and fears that cloud your vision, you will hear the still, small voice within. It is the voice of God, reminding you of your divine origin. It whispers, I am. And when you declare, I am, you are claiming your unity with the divine. This is not a philosophy to be debated or a theory to be tested. It is a truth to be lived. When you understand that God and you are one, you will no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances. Instead, you will recognize yourself as the author of your destiny. The power to create, to heal, and to transform is not something you must earn, it is your birthright. Imagine what your life could be if you fully embraced this truth. What dreams could you bring to life? What challenges could you overcome? What beauty could you create? The possibilities are limitless because the source of all creation dwells within you. When you align with this truth, you will find that the world bends to your will, not because you have forced it, but because you have awakened to your true nature. And now, as we delve deeper into this revelation, let us explore 7 key points that will help you fully embody the truth, that God and you are one. These principles will not only transform your understanding, but will empower you to live a life of abundance, purpose, and divine connection. The power of I am. When you declare the words I am, you are not simply making a statement about your current circumstances or identity. You are invoking the divine essence within you, the very name of God. These words hold an extraordinary creative power, one that has the ability to shape the course of your life. Think about it. Every time you say I am, you are affirming a state of being, a reality that is either aligned with your highest potential or tethered to your fears and limitations. Consider the profound simplicity of these 2 words. They are not bound by time or circumstance. They are as eternal as the Creator Himself. In the Bible, when Moses asked God for His name, the answer was, I am that I am. This statement is not only a declaration of God's eternal nature, but also a revelation of our own divine identity. You see, the I am within you is not separate from the I am of God. It is not that you change your name from experience. You change your name from experience. And this notion of your own divine identity, you see, the I am within you is not separate from the I am. When you speak those words, you are affirming your unity with the infinite power that sustains the universe. But how often do we misuse this sacred power? How often do we attach negative or limiting beliefs to I am? Phrases like I am not good enough, I am tired, or I am unlucky may seem insignificant, but they are powerful declarations that reinforce a reality you do not desire. Every time you say, I am, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your consciousness. What grows from that seed depends entirely on what you attach to it. Now imagine if you consciously align your I am with the truth of who you are. Instead of saying, I am struggling, you declare, I am overcoming. Instead of I am lost, you affirm, I am guided. These are not mere words. They are declarations of faith that align your inner being with the divine nature of God. When you speak in this way, you are not just describing your reality, you are creating it. Have you ever noticed how your words influence your emotions, your actions, and even the way others perceive you? This is no accident. The power of I am operates on every level of existence. When you declare, I am confident, you not only feel more confident, but you also begin to act in ways that reinforce that confidence. The world around you responds in kind, opening doors and creating opportunities that align with your declaration. This power is not reserved for special moments of prayer or meditation. It is available to you in every moment of every day. Think about the countless times you say, I am, without even realizing it. Each instance is an opportunity to affirm your oneness with God and to align your thoughts, words, and actions with the life you desire to create. It is a practice, a discipline, and ultimately a way of being. Some might ask, but what about the reality of my current circumstances? How can I say I am abundant when my bank account tells a different story? The answer lies in faith. Faith is the evidence of things not seen, the assurance of things hoped for. When you declare, I am abundant, you are not denying your current reality. You are affirming a higher truth. You are claiming your divine inheritance and aligning your consciousness with the abundance that is already yours in the spiritual realm. The power of I am is not limited to material success or external achievements. It is the key to transforming every aspect of your life, your relationships, your health, your sense of purpose. When you declare, I am loved, you open yourself to receive love in all its forms. When you affirm, I am healthy, you align your body with the divine perfection that resides within you. These declarations are acts of faith, and faith is the language of God. Let us also consider the collective power of I am. When you align your I am with truth, you not only transform your own life, but also contribute to the awakening of others. Your energy, your presence, your very being becomes a beacon of light that inspires and uplifts those around you. This is not just about personal growth. It is about participating in the greater work of God in the world. Take a moment now to reflect on the I am statements you use most often. Are they affirming the life you want to create, or are they reinforcing the limitations you wish to overcome? Remember, every I am is a declaration of your unity with God. Choose wisely, for what you declare, you become. Imagination as divine creation. Your imagination is not a fleeting mental activity or a mere daydream. It is the divine creative force within you, the very tool through which God expresses Himself in your life. What you imagine with conviction and feeling becomes the blueprint for your reality. This is not just an idea to consider. It is the very foundation of how creation works. Think of your imagination as the canvas upon which your life is painted. Every thought, every feeling, every image you hold in your mind is a brushstroke that contributes to the masterpiece of your existence. If you were to look at your life right now, would you see a reflection of your highest aspirations? Or would you see the shadows of doubt, fear, and limitation? The truth is that your current reality is a perfect reflection of the images you have entertained and nurtured in your imagination. The subconscious mind constructs these images into reality. It has always been this way, but the mind controls the material reality of your life. Pay attention. This is the power. But why is imagination so powerful? Because it operates on the level of the unseen. It is in your imagination that the formless takes shape, where the intangible becomes tangible. In the Gospel of John we read, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." The Word is not just spoken language, it is the creative thought, the image formed in the mind, the spark of divine intention. Your imagination is the birthplace of the world, the sacred space where you commune with the Creator and bring forth new realities. Sanskrit word for faith. Faith. The word for faith precedes imagination. Yet, how often do we misuse this divine gift? How often do we fill our minds with images of failure, rejection, and lack? Every time you imagine something undesirable, you are inadvertently giving life to it. You are feeding it with your energy, allowing it to take root in your consciousness. This is why it is so vital to guard your imagination as though it were a sacred temple. What you allow to enter will shape your life in ways you may not even realize. Let us consider the power of imagination in action. Have you ever noticed how a single thought can change your mood, your posture, even your sense of possibility? When you imagine success, your body responds with confidence. When you imagine failure, you feel the weight of defeat even before anything has happened. This is not a coincidence, it is the divine law of creation at work. If you are in a sense of happiness, let us consider the divine law of creation at work. Your imagination does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply responds to what you consistently feed it. The most incredible aspect of this law is that it operates regardless of whether you are conscious of it. Even if you are unaware of the images you are holding, they are shaping your reality. This is why awareness is so crucial. When you become conscious of your imaginative activity, you take back the reins of creation. You move from being a passive observer of life to an active participant in its unfolding. Imagine for a moment the life you truly desire. Picture it in vivid detail, the sights, the sounds, the emotions. Feel yourself living in that reality, as though it were already true. This is not wishful thinking, it is the deliberate act of creation. As you hold this image in your mind, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your consciousness. With faith and persistence, that seed will grow, and your imagination will become your reality. But imagination is not just about manifesting external outcomes. It is also the key to transforming your inner world. When you imagine yourself as loved, worthy, and whole, you align with the truth of who you are. When you see yourself as God sees you, perfect, complete, and lacking nothing, you begin to live from that truth. Your imagination becomes a sanctuary where you reconnect with your divine nature and remind yourself of your unity with God. There is also a profound connection between imagination and faith. Faith is not blind. It is the ability to see what is not yet visible. When you imagine with faith, you are not merely indulging in fantasy. You are calling forth what already exists in the spiritual realm. This is the essence of creation, to bring the unseen into the seen, to make the invisible visible. 'Twas in space. Take, for example, the life of an artist. Before a single stroke of paint touches the canvas, the masterpiece exists in the artist's mind. The same is true for your life. Every dream, every goal, every desire is already complete in the realm of imagination. Your task is simply to bring it into being through focused thought, unwavering faith, and inspired action. I ask you, what are you imagining? Are you envisioning a life of abundance, joy, and fulfillment? Or are you allowing your imagination to dwell on fear and limitation? Remember, you are always creating, whether consciously or unconsciously. Your imagination is the workshop of God within you, the place where all things are possible. Use it wisely, and you will witness the miraculous unfold in your life. Faith in the unseen. Faith is the bridge that connects the unseen to the seen, the intangible to the tangible. It is not a passive belief or wishful thinking, it is a living, breathing force that anchors you in the reality of your desires, even when the physical world shows no evidence of their existence. Faith is the assurance that what you hope for is already real, even if it is not yet visible to the eyes. Consider for a moment the nature of faith. It requires you to trust in something greater than yourself, to surrender to the divine process that operates beyond human understanding. This trust is not blind, it is built on the knowledge that God and you are one, and that the creative power of the universe is working through you. Faith is not about hoping that things will work out, it is about knowing, with absolute certainty, that they already have. Think of the farmer who plants a seed in the soil. He cannot see what is happening beneath the surface, but he waters the seed, tends to the soil, and waits with patience and expectation. He knows that the seed will sprout, not because he can see it growing, but because he understands the laws of nature. Faith works in the same way. You may not see the results immediately, but when you hold firm to your belief and nurture it with unwavering conviction, the manifestation is inevitable. Yet how often do we falter in our faith when faced with challenges or delays? The moment things do not go as planned, doubt creeps in, whispering that perhaps what you desire is not meant to be. But doubt is the enemy of faith, a thief that robs you of your creative power. When you allow doubt to take root, you disrupt the process of creation. The seed of your desire, once planted in faith, begins to wither under the weight of uncertainty. Faith is not about avoiding doubt altogether, it is about choosing to rise above it. It is the act of affirming your trust in the unseen, even when circumstances seem to contradict your belief. This is why faith is often described as a leap. It requires you to step into the unknown, to move forward without needing proof. And yet, that leap is not a risk, for faith is grounded in the eternal truth that God's promises never fail. In the scriptures, we find countless examples of faith in action. Abraham, called to leave his homeland for an unknown destination, trusted in God's promise of a greater future. He did not demand to see the land before he set out. He simply obeyed, knowing that the unseen would become seen in due time. His faith became the foundation for a legacy that continues to inspire millions. Faith is not limited to grand gestures or life-altering decisions. It is present in the small, everyday choices you make. Every time you choose to believe in your vision, despite the obstacles, you are exercising faith. Every time you act as though your desires are already fulfilled, you are aligning with the divine law of creation. Faith is not about forcing outcomes, it is about resting in the assurance that they are already done. One of the most powerful aspects of faith is its ability to transform your perspective. When you live in faith, you no longer see challenges as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. You recognize that every delay, every setback, is part of the divine plan to refine you and prepare you for the fulfillment of your desires. Faith allows you to see beyond the immediate, to trust in the larger picture that is unfolding. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you trusted fully in the unseen? When was the last time you declared, "I believe," even when everything around you said otherwise? Faith is not about waiting for conditions to be perfect. It is about knowing that the conditions you seek are already in motion. It is about standing firm in your belief, even when the world tells you to give up. Faith also has a miraculous way of inspiring action. When you truly believe in the reality of your desires, you are moved to take steps that align with that belief. These actions, born of faith, carry a divine energy that propels you forward. They are not driven by fear or desperation, but by a deep inner knowing that what you seek is seeking you. So, how do you cultivate this kind of faith? Begin by reminding yourself daily of the truth that God and you are one. Meditate on the promises of abundance, love, and success that are already yours in the spiritual realm. Speak words of faith over your life, affirming that your desires are already fulfilled. And most importantly, act as though your vision is already a reality. Faith is not passive, it is dynamic, alive, and transformative. In the end, faith in the unseen is not just a principle, it is a way of life. It is the key that unlocks the doors of possibility, the force that turns dreams into reality. When you walk in faith, you align yourself with the divine power that creates worlds. You become an active participant in the miraculous, living proof of the truth that God and you are one. Living from the end. Living from the end is not just about envisioning your desires, it is about fully embodying the state of their fulfillment. To live from the end means to act, think, and feel as though the reality you seek is already yours. This is not wishful thinking, it is a deliberate alignment with the divine law of creation. When you live from the end, you are declaring that your desires are not future possibilities but present realities. This concept may seem counterintuitive at first. How can you feel successful when you are surrounded by struggle? How can you feel abundant when your circumstances show lack? The answer lies in understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. By assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you shift your consciousness, and in doing so, you begin to reshape your reality. Imagine for a moment the life you desire most. Picture every detail, the sights, the sounds, the emotions. Do not observe this life as though it is separate from you. Step into it. Feel what it feels like to live that life right now. This is the essence of living from the end. It is not about hoping or waiting, it is about claiming and being. This practice requires more than visualization. It demands unwavering faith and emotional conviction. When you live from the end, you do not waver between belief and doubt. You remain anchored in the truth of your desires, regardless of what your physical senses may tell you. Your emotions become your guide, and when you feel aligned with your vision, you know you are living from the end. Living from the end also calls for consistency. It is not enough to visit the feeling of fulfillment once or twice. You must dwell in it, allowing it to become your natural state of being. This is where discipline comes in. When doubts arise, return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. When challenges appear, remind yourself that your reality is already complete in the spiritual realm. This persistence is the foundation of true transformation. The most powerful aspect of living from the end is the sense of peace it brings. When you know that your desires are already fulfilled, there is no need to force or control outcomes. You move through life with confidence, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. This peace is not passivity, it is an active state of trust in the divine process. Every great achievement in history has been born from this principle. Those who accomplish extraordinary things first see them as realities in their mind and heart. They live from the end, and the world eventually aligns with their vision. This is not reserved for a select few. It is a universal truth available to anyone who dares to believe. The mirror of the world. Your outer world is a perfect mirror of your inner state. This is a profound truth that cannot be ignored. Everything you experience in life, whether it brings joy or sorrow, is a reflection of the beliefs, thoughts, and emotions you hold within. The world does not act independently of you, it responds to you, echoing back the energy you project. This idea might be challenging to accept, especially when faced with difficulties. It is tempting to view challenges as external forces beyond your control. But when you understand that the world is a mirror, you reclaim your power. You realize that by changing your inner state, you can transform your outer reality. Consider this: have you ever noticed how your mood affects your interactions? When you are joyful, the world seems brighter, people are kinder, and opportunities flow effortlessly. Conversely, when you are anxious or upset, obstacles appear and interactions become strained. This is not coincidence, it is the mirror reflecting your state of being. The world does not judge or discriminate, it simply reflects. If you hold beliefs of scarcity, you will see lack. If you nurture thoughts of abundance, you will experience plenty. This reflection is not punishment or reward, it is guidance. It shows you where your consciousness is focused and gives you the opportunity to align with the life you truly desire. Understanding this principle is the first step toward mastery. The next step is application. Begin by observing your outer world without judgment. What is it reflecting back to you? If you see patterns of struggle or limitation, do not despair. These are not fixed realities, they are invitations to shift your consciousness. Once you identify the reflection, turn inward. Ask yourself what beliefs or emotions are creating this experience. Replace thoughts of fear with thoughts of faith. Let go of resistance and embrace acceptance. As you make these shifts within, the outer world will respond. It may not happen overnight, but with persistence, the changes will come. The mirror of the world also serves as a tool for self-awareness. It reveals what you may not consciously recognize within yourself. If you encounter anger or hostility, consider where these emotions may exist within you. If you experience love and kindness, celebrate the harmony you have cultivated within. The world is a constant teacher, guiding you toward greater understanding and alignment. This principle empowers you to take responsibility for your life. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the creator of them. This is not about blame, but about reclaiming your creative power. When you accept that the world reflects you, you step into the role of the divine creator, shaping your reality with intention and love. By embracing this truth, you unlock the potential to transform every aspect of your life. The world becomes not a place of struggle, but a playground of possibilities. You see challenges as opportunities, setbacks as lessons, and every moment as an invitation to align with your highest self. As you move through life, remember that the world is always reflecting back to you. Use this reflection wisely. Let it guide you, inspire you, and remind you of your power. When you change within, the mirror of the world will change with you. Oneness in silence. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of God. In the stillness where words and thoughts fade into the background, lies the profound truth of your oneness with the divine. Many search for God in the chaos of the world, in rituals, or in the validation of others, yet the divine whispers in the quiet chambers of your heart. Silence is not merely a pause in activity, it is the gateway to the eternal. In our noisy, fast-paced lives, silence is often avoided or misunderstood. Many fear it, equating it with loneliness or emptiness. But silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is where you meet your true selves, stripped of the layers of identity imposed by the world. In silence, you discover that you and God are not separate entities, but one indivisible reality. The practice of entering silence is an act of surrender. It requires you to let go of the need to control, to solve, or to explain. It invites you to simply be. And in that state of being, you come face to face with the infinite. This is not a passive experience, but an active realization of your divine nature. It is in the silence that you hear the still, small voice of God, a voice that has always been there, waiting for you to listen. When you sit in silence, notice how the mind resists. It races, distracts, and clings to the noise of the world. This is the ego's way of maintaining its illusion of separation. But as you persist, the mind quiets and a deeper awareness emerges. This awareness is not something you create, it is something you uncover. It is the eternal I am that exists beyond thought, beyond form, beyond time. The transformative power of silence cannot be overstated. In silence, you gain clarity that words cannot provide. You see beyond appearances and connect with the essence of all things. Problems that once seemed insurmountable dissolve in the light of this understanding. You realize that the answers you seek are not found outside of you but within. Silence becomes your teacher, your guide, and your sanctuary. In the silence, you begin to see the world differently. You no longer react to life from a place of fear or judgment, but respond from a place of love and understanding. This shift is not theoretical, it is experiential. It is felt in the peace that arises, the intuition that sharpens, and the sense of connection that deepens. You recognize that what you see in the world is not separate from you. It is an extension of the divine unity you experience in silence. Silence also brings healing. When you connect with the divine within, you release the burdens you have carried. The guilt, the resentment, the wounds of the past, they lose their grip on you. In the stillness, you are reminded of your wholeness, your perfection, your oneness with all that is. This healing is not something you must strive for. It is a natural consequence of resting in the truth of your being. To cultivate this practice, set aside time each day to sit in silence. Begin with just a few minutes and gradually increase the duration. Find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Allow thoughts to come and go without attaching to them. With each moment, sink deeper into the awareness of the divine presence within you. You may find it helpful to use a simple affirmation, such as "I am," to anchor your attention. Repeat it silently, allowing its meaning to sink into your consciousness. This affirmation is not just a statement, it is a recognition of your unity with God. As you sit in silence, you will feel the truth of these words resonate within you. This practice will transform not only your inner world but your outer life. You will carry the peace of silence into your daily interactions, your decisions, and your challenges. The more you connect with the divine in silence, the more you will see it reflected in the world around you. Silence becomes not just a practice but a way of being, a constant reminder of your oneness with God. Claim your divine inheritance. Your divine inheritance is not something you earn, it is something you already possess. It is the abundance, love, and power that are your birthright as a child of God. Yet, so many live as though they are impoverished, searching for scraps of validation and fulfillment. This is not because they lack worth, but because they have forgotten who they are. To claim your divine inheritance is to remember your true nature and to live from that truth. Think of the story of the prodigal son. He left his father's house, squandered his inheritance, and found himself in despair. Yet when he returned, he was not met with condemnation, but with open arms and celebration. This parable is a reflection of the spiritual journey. No matter how far you have wandered, your divine inheritance remains intact, waiting for you to claim it. To claim your inheritance, you must first let go of the belief in separation. You are not separate from God, you are one with Him. This truth is the foundation of your inheritance. When you truly accept this, you will no longer see yourself as a beggar pleading for scraps, but as a co-creator with access to the infinite abundance of the universe. Abundance is not limited to material wealth, though it includes it. Your inheritance encompasses every aspect of life: health, joy, peace, purpose, and love. It is the fullness of life, the realization that nothing is missing or lacking. To claim this, you must align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the truth of abundance. Speak words of plenty, feel gratitude for what you have, and act as though your desires are already fulfilled. One of the greatest barriers to claiming your inheritance is doubt. The world conditions you to believe in lack, to fear scarcity, to compete for resources. But these are illusions. The universe is infinitely abundant, and there is more than enough for everyone. When you release these limiting beliefs, you open yourself to receive all that is rightfully yours. Claiming your inheritance also requires faith. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the spiritual and the physical. It is the unwavering belief that what is yours cannot be lost, delayed, or taken away. Faith is not passive, it is an active trust in the divine process. When you walk in faith, you move with confidence, knowing that your inheritance is already yours. Claiming your inheritance involves action. This is not action driven by fear or desperation, but by inspiration and alignment. When you act from a place of faith and abundance, you become a magnet for opportunities, resources, and blessings. Your actions become a reflection of your inner state, and the world responds in kind. Your inheritance is not something you will receive in the future, it is something you possess now. The only thing that stands between you and the realization of it is your own belief. When you align with the truth of your divine nature, you will see that everything you need has already been provided. Claim it, live it, and watch as your life transforms in ways beyond your imagination. As we stand together at the crossroads of understanding and action, remember this profound truth: God and you are one. This is not a distant ideal. or an abstract philosophy, it is the essence of your existence. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every image you hold in your imagination carries the creative power of the divine. You are not separate from the source of all life. You are its living expression. The power of I am, the transformative force of your imagination, the unwavering strength of faith, and the practice of living from the end are not just tools, they are the keys to unlocking your divine inheritance. The world around you is a mirror reflecting the state of your inner being. When you embrace silence and connect with the truth within, you discover that everything you have ever desired is already yours. Today you are called to claim your inheritance, to walk boldly in the knowledge that lack, limitation, and fear are illusions. You are a co-creator with the infinite, capable of shaping a life of abundance, purpose, and joy. The trials you have faced were not meant to defeat you, but to prepare you. They were the divine fire refining you for a life of greatness. The time has come to step into your true identity, to declare with conviction, God and I are one. Let this truth guide your thoughts, fuel your imagination, and inspire your actions. As you align with this reality, you will witness the miraculous unfold in every area of your life. Your words will create worlds, your faith will move mountains, and your life will reflect the infinite power of the divine. Now is your moment. Stand tall, walk in faith, and live as the magnificent being you were created to be. The journey ahead is not one of striving, but of remembering that you and God are one. In this unity, all things are possible. Embrace it, live it, and let your life shine as a testament to the truth that has always been within you.